Okay, so this is question 2, part 1 of June 2011 variant 2 paper. This is paper 1, pure mathematics. So let's start with the first question. Find the terms in x squared and x cubed in the expansion of 1 minus 3 by 2 x to the power of 6. So let's write that down. 1 minus 3 by 2 x the whole to the power of 6. And we need to find the terms for x squared and x cubed. So we can do that. So first, let me make this full screen. Let's first write down our general formula. NCR, a to the power of n minus r, b to the power of r. N is our main power. That in this case, it'll be 6. So let's write that down. R will be the numbered term. Now remember, in binomial theorem, this is the binomial theorem. In binomial theorem, the terms start from 0. So the first term will be r equal to 0. The second term will be r equal to 1, and so on. But here we don't know what term we need, so we'll keep this as a question mark. And a is equal to 1. B is equal to 3 by 2x. I'm sure you know how I got that. The first term over here is always a, and the second term over here is always b. Now, how do we do this? So we need an x squared term. So technically we need this term to be squared to get an x squared term. So according to that, since b is this term, this 3 by 2 term, the 3 by 2x is equal to b, and we need that squared, b to the power of, and our general formula says b to the power of r, our r has to equal to 2. Let me explain that again. So our b term is 3 by 2x, and since we need our b term to be squared, because we need x squared, this whole thing needs to be squared, and since our general formula says b to the power of r, our r has to equal to 2. So then now let's write our general formula. 6c2, 1 to the power of 6 minus 2 is 4. This is all multiplies, so be aware of that. 3 minus 3 by 2, the term always includes this sign. Please be aware of that too. Minus 3 by 2 x the whole squared. I hope you know how I got that. Now let's calculate this. 6c2. 6c2 can be calculated easily on your calculator. We can get into general methodology later. So 15 into 1 into 9 by 4 x squared. So 15 into 9 divided by 4 is 135. So equal to 135 by 4 x squared. So this is our x squared term. I hope you know how we got that. Let's clear the page. Actually, we'll keep this page. Let's clear this page. Let's now find the x cubed term. Now, according to our general formula written here, we need an x cubed term. Therefore, we need the b term, this b term to be cubed. Since the a term does not have any x, we don't have any problems with that. So our b term has to be cubed. Problems will get as simple as this. So don't worry about that. So therefore, since this b term has to be cubed and b is linked with r, our r has to equal to 3. So r equal to 3. So 6c3 a, which is 1 to the power of 6 minus 3, 3. This is all in 2s again. Minus 3 by 2, the minus is always included. X, the whole cubed, because r is equal to 3. Now let's calculate this. 6c3, 20 into minus 3 by 2, the whole cubed. Minus 3 by 2, the whole cubed. Minus 27 by 8 into minus 27 by 8 x cubed, which is, multiply this by 20, you get minus minus 135. As you know, I'm using my calculator right now, so don't worry if don't get too scared if I'm doing this in my head. Minus 135 by 2 x cubed is our final answer. I hope you know how I got that. I think there's another problem to this. The second part says, given that there is no x cubed term, in the expansion of k plus 2x into 1 minus 3 by 2 x to the power of 6, find the value of the constant k. So let's clear the page. And let's write this expansion down. It should be k plus 2x into 1 minus 3 by 2 x the whole to the power of 6. Now that we've got the problem, we know that there is no x cubed term, therefore it has to be in the form of 0 into x cubed. We don't need it, just for your information. So we'll find out that term right now. Take you to a step-by-step analysis of how to find that term. So first of all, we have to expand this a bit. So let's take our r equal to 2 and r equal to 3, and let's keep those terms. Let's find r equals 0 and r equal to 1 right now. So r equal to 1, r equal to 0, if you work that out with the formula given over here, you will find out that that answer is simply 1. Minus, we'll take plus, we have 6c1, which is 6c1, that's our second term, into a, which is 1, to the power of 6 minus 1 is 5 in this case, 5, into minus 3 by 2 to the power of 1, x to the power of 1. So we have our answer as minus 9 x to the power of 1. We don't need to put that 1, but if you want to keep that, that's fine. And we have our r equal to 2 already, which is what we've got was 135 by 2. 135 by 2, let me just check that. 6c2 into a to the power of 4, b to the power of 2. Yes, it's 135 by 4, my bad. It's 135 by 4 x squared. And we've got our x cubed term. This is minus 135 by 2 x cubed. I'm going to just check that again, considering I made a mistake in the last one. 1 to the power of 3 into minus 3 by 2 cubed minus 135 by 2 x cubed. So now that we've got this expansion, now we can expand it even further and find out all the x cubed terms here, but I'll tell you why in a sec, why that's not necessary. So let's write this again. I'll clear the page over here. I hope you guys taken these notes. Now let's write our expansion again. K plus 2x into 1 minus 9x plus 135 by 4x squared minus 135 by 2x cubed. I hope you can see that. That's an x cubed. And n bracket. I don't have space for that, so I'm going to leave it. Now we have to make sure all the x cubed terms are add up to equal to 0. So what are all the x? How can we multiply to get all the x cubed? So to do a problem like this, we have to multiply this part and this part. I'll do this in a different color. I'll do this in light blue. Hope you can see that. We have to multiply this and this part, certain terms here and there, to get an x cubed term. For example, if you multiply an x term in this, that is, if you multiply this term and this x squared term, you'll automatically get an x cubed term. So let's keep that. 2x into 135 by 4 x squared. We'll keep that. And if we multiply this k, which is a constant, as said in the problem, and 135 by 2 x cubed, you can also get another, this again is minus 135 by 2 x cubed. So let's multiply that, k into minus 135 by 2 x cubed. I hope you see what I'm doing here. I'm multiplying all the terms here and there that give me x cubed. Now, do we have any other two terms that multiply to give me x cubed? I don't think so. So we leave it. So let's multiply this out. 2 into 135 is 270 by 4 is 135 by 2. 135 by 2 x cubed minus k into 135 by 2 x cubed is equal to 0, because this whole thing has to equal to 0. So we can say that this x cubed and x cubed, since we're trying to find the thing x, we're trying to find the term k, we can cancel out the x cubes, as they won't have, as if we take them common, they'll automatically get cancelled. So we have 135 by 2 minus k into 135 by 2 is equal to 0. We have k into 135 by 2 equal to 135 by 2, and we have k equal to 1, as this and this will get cancelled, and this will get cancelled. So our k should be equal to 1.